Hey, David, Paul Cundiff. Apparently, I missed a email, and and I also owe you some updates. So it's going to have three videos. So the first video is of your cut water, of a cut water. We sent your old cut water to our Chrome shop because they do excellent. We're okay at this, but they're excellent at this, and they do all the polishing. So if they have an area that they welded on that doesn't work just quite right, and they burn through when they polish or grind through or whatever, then they can build that back up and they can do it again. And this is the kind of stuff that they do, is decorative metal. So we sent your old cut water and to have a duplicate made. So they made a duplicate and they fixed your old one, believe it or not. So and so they both came in, and we tried to apply it to your boat before the last coat of varnish goes on, in case we do anything that screws up any varnish with all these sharp metal edges. So guess what? It didn't fit. Your old one didn't fit, nor did the new one fit. So I've surmised that perhaps, your dad, the story is your dad found I think I got the story right, your dad found the boat upside down in a ravine, and it's missing a bunch of other hardware. My guess is that perhaps he found a piece of hardware similar to what he needed, and it was torn up, and he maybe even got it for free. Who knows? Maybe he had to pay for it. Maybe he had to pay off the nose for it. But at any rate, we have ended up with two cut waters that didn't fit your boat. So we have modified one of the cut waters, and it's off at the Chrome shop right now, and because we had to tack it together, and it's getting made beautiful now at the Chrome shop. So that's where that one lies. The next, I can do all I have to do is walk a few feet. The next video is what's going to be the next video? The next part of this video is we had your had your engine on the test stand, and there was a tiny leak. It was weeping some water in a gasket on your water pump. And so, my mechanic said, we really ought to fix that. And I said, man, this is a big can of worms that we probably don't want to get into. This pumps, if it's pumping water, we should leave it alone. And then I got to thinking, well, yeah, it's pumping water, but I don't want my customer to have any difficulty with this. So I'm going to do the responsible thing, and we're going to rebuild the pump. Well, not rebuild it. We're going to fix the gasket. So the first thing that happened is he started to take the bolts out that hold all this together, and anyway, the heads broke off the bolts. And that's when we discovered that somewhere along the line, somebody put steel bolts in. And here's what remains of the steel bolts. They, broke off at each end, and then they rusted themselves into these cavities where the bolts go through to hold the end plate, which the other end plate is somewhere around here. Anyway, I'm not hunting for it right now. Anyway, the idea was to it holds all that together. So we got those with an ultrasonic cleaner and hydrochloric acid to eat the rust, and like weeks in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then hydrochloric acid to finish it off. Those are some of the pieces that we of the bolts that were holding it together that we got out. So true to form, we really did open a great big can of worms. What else was I going to show you? Oh yeah, some of the tools that we used to get that out. Because it had rusted, the outer portion of the steel had rusted. Now here's our ultrasonic cleaners that we had it. This is the cleaner we had it in. So one of the tools that we use is called an unscrew 'em. It's a roll pin that is sharpened. Of course, it's no longer sharp, and it cuts in reverse. So we went down around the outside of those, as the outside of those bolts, as far as this would go. And here's another one. We have another one. This one's, and as you can see, we wore them both out. Yeah, that's actually got teeth on it. There for a second, I thought, oh, I've grabbed a hold of a roll pin, but that's actually got the teeth on it. So we wore 2 of those out. I also have a set of blue bullet. These will actually drill through drill material, easy outs. So they drill through good stuff. This is about a $100 drill bit set. So between all of those tools and some short machinist bits, we managed to get that apart. Right now we're looking for a mechanical seal. There's a mechanical seal that goes on this shaft, and trying to hunt down a shaft seal for this, or the mechanical seal for this. Yeah, and we have a new bearing that came in, and to replace the old bearing. So it's a good thing that it had a leak, because it was really, we would have had other problems before long. So anyhow, that's what's going on with your water pump. And this is why it's so difficult to give you, if not impossible, to give you a prediction of when we're going to be finished. The last item was there was no windshield frame. So we figured out what we needed for a windshield frame, and we went in search of a windshield frame. It is similar to the U22. I think I just had a U22 leave. Oh, but I have another U22 back here. It's similar to the U22 windshield, basically the 22-foot utility windshield. And I have one back here, I believe, that's not undercover. Yeah. And so we determined that the U22 windshield is only about 30 inches from 33 inches from this corner to the center post. And that what we needed for your boat is a windshield that had a 37-inch measurement from 37 and a half, 38-inch measurement from the corner, center post to the corner. So we found one, or at least we were told that we'd found one. And we ordered it, and it came in, and we sent it off to Chrome, and it came back $850 later. That was part of, I think we charged you $1,500 for the windshield, so we almost broke even on that. And so, as it turns out, though, it's a U22 windshield. It's too short. So we are in the process of looking for. There's a couple of options. We're going to, and we discovered that because we took that chrome windshield and we went to install it. Again, just like for the Cutwater, we went to install it before we did the final coat of varnish, so that if there was any damage, it could be taken care of. And in the final coat of varnish, if we managed to scratch the varnish. So that didn't work out very well. So we're in search of a 37-inch, or the other option is that we'll take another U22, a portion of another U20. We'll take two U22 windshields, cut out the 4 or 5 inches that we need for each windshield half. Cut them out of another old frame, weld it together, or TIG weld it together, and it's brass. But we'll assemble that, and then shape it and send it off, and make a windshield for you at no additional cost to you, because you already bought the windshield. And okay, so those are the 3 issues that we're having right now that we're trying to solve. In the meantime, we went ahead and installed the cockpit combing. We have the dashboard installed, and we're ready to run. Put the gauges in, and we can run the wiring to the engine, and then we'll put the once the water pump's finished, we'll put the water pump back on the engine. So that's where we are, and sorry it's been so long since giving you an update, and we'll talk to you soon.